Welcome everybody, welcome here in Qatar for race number 11. Oh, why the fuck is not... Oh, I hate this fucking system so much. Alright, I'm back with some technical issues because my Formula 1 was very shit. I did see crap, but yeah, we are back now for round number 11. The penultimate round in VGPR T2 as we are heading to the championship final. Red Bull have won the constructor, but the drivers are still battling for the... Jeez, I cannot speak. For the driver championship. It could be won today by the man himself, Jacob. Or IC even, but any other driver is not close to winning it. We're going to quickly check the standings. Mexico has not been done yet, sadly, due to some issues with Discord actually. But as we look right now with the standings, it's IC who's trailing his team with 14 points after Monza. But after Mexico, we'll quickly grab the penultimate standings that were there. Without time penalties and everything added, we will quickly look. As we see the first drivers head out for the sprint qualifying session number 1. It's a sprint weekend, so more points on the board. So it will be very close. But yeah. And I hear that's raining in Qatar. It's very strange that this happened again. For me, it happened as well in VRL, another league. But this will be carnage. It's going to be raining in one of the races. So, I don't know if what's happening. We see a lot of drivers are maybe going out. Maybe it's raining right now. It's going to rain in the qualifying. But I think it's raining in the race. I hope for them that they survive it. But for now, it will be tough for them. As the track data is on. As we are. And Carnaby already got the track and the validation. Qatar is very well known for them track limits. It's a very difficult track. So you will probably see a lot of track limits coming about. But as I stand right now, it will be difficult for them. But to quickly check the race of Mexico. The result, we see that Jacob outscored his teammate, coming Jacob come home P5, one place ahead of his teammate, as IC finished P6. So Jacob is still leading the way. So we quickly grab the points difference between them. As for P5, you get around, I think, yeah, we got the beautiful thumbnail I can use for this race. I just got sent to. We like to do things a little bit in the last minute. Hey, stuff happens. As we can grab the point system of the VGPR, we're not using the regular point system, we're using our own custom one. Sprint race is from top 10, you get points. Qualifying is P3. It's P1 to P3 that get points, 3 points. P1 and then P2, then P1 fast lap for both sprint race and in the normal race. But we're not giving out qualifying points for the sprint qualifying. But it will be different. Leclerc is on this lap. We don't know yet much about him, but it will be difficult for most drivers. Purple Sec 2 for Leclerc is the first of many. We see Leclerc, but we'll see what Sauber does not take it for him yet. That will be Aptenor. Marble. Leclerc invalidates. End of sector 3. It's what I said. It's very tough to get the sector right. But if that's the case, it's still close with them. Because I think IC also got P2 cough, but Jacob has scored his teammate with 1 point in the race. Aptenor goes fast with 122.5. It's the fast lap we have. It's on the medium tires, so expect the first people to set the lap on the mediums, and then we go to the softs. As JC is on the soft tires, Marmalade goes fast with 22.3. See Alfie on the, I think as well on the mediums. We'll quickly look at Alfie on the softs actually. JC also on the soft. Lexi is 123.0. Almost 20 feet flat. Abnen, as Carnaby goes fast with 121.7 with the mediums as well. Carnaby also having very good qualifying pace in the end of the season, but this race pace and consistency lacks him in the race. We see Yellow 2 is one of the Red Bulls, but also CJ is also out on this lap right now. We're on the board with McLaren driver, previous winner in Monza, taking very weird gears, going through this tight section of the track. It's very difficult, of course. Qatar, very difficult track in general with track limits and very high and low medium speed. So it will be difficult for the drivers to overtake you in the corners. I expect a lot of overtakes heading onto the straight into turn 1 and maybe some overtakes going out in sector 3. That's in turn 6. But as it also will be wet, it will be tough for most drivers to handle the wet weather. This Shark is finding his car, and it will be difficult. If you have the right setup here, then that section is completely flat. And if you know how to use the gears, then it will be an easy win. But Shark across the line will goes P7. 122.9, not the fast lap with him. The me and Dave had an aborted lap, and we'll probably set again. It's on the limit. Our Swedish driver, also owner of the league, one of the founders with this league. Lovely to see him drive as well as usual. Oh, and I jinxed him. Sorry, Dave. Not very lovely. Aston Martin today loves Lance Stroll, and will do anything to meet him in real life, which I don't blame. Charles is second fastest with 120.3. Carnaby is literally, yeah, he is 5 tenths clear of the rest of the field. But that is what it is around here. It is. If you know how to take the track well, you can get so much time. But if a lot of people are close together, then it's going to be around the same lap time, because it's a lot of medium and high speed corners. And that will, yeah, sometimes. Also the pit entry, of course, has been changed. It was normally around in the last corner you go in and then go, but now it's around the, I hate this pit lane more, actually, in this game. I prefer the old one in 23, that was way was easier and better to notice. But just goes in the pit lane as Icy's second fastest is also on the medium. It's also a very good lap time for him. But I think a lot of people go in for the laps, and will, as Alfie goes out for his final run in SQ1. We see Leclerc, I think, is also still out. Yeah, he's out. He's now just beginning his lap on the mediums. May even box at the end of his lap and go to the softs. But we'll see what the Steffi is also out. He's on the soft tires. One is fighting. It's purple sector 1 actually for him. Steffi is one of the earlier drivers in Tier 2. Also was fighting with Black Lung for the World Driver Championship, as Black Lung has won it. But he will lose his crown after the season after not participating at all in his races after being done with Formula 1 game and with the bugs of EA, which is understandable. This game is not very good. It's very buggy. Stefan goes to 8 gear, which is not smart at all. You should keep it in 7 all the way through. That corner you can cut a lot, but this corner you can't, and Steffi has some validation and needs to go again. Jacob is out in the pit lane and will go, I think he will go for his out lap. He will, as Lewis, just as we see Ruben parking it up. We see he is still out there. We see Joe also still in the lap. He's right now, he is on a lap. His camera angles are not the nicest, I would say, but still. Yeah. So Job is also out. We see Topsy going to the pit lane. We see Laxi in the pits. CJ is now, right now, I think, I don't know if he's in an out lap or in an in lap. We heard that Steffi is angry over the radio, which I can understand. But we see the other drivers diving in the pit lane and will probably head out for the final. Leclerc is 8 fast, 120.8 is ahead of his teammate and ahead of gaming of the Alpine of the gaming Godzilla. As JC is now out. Is he still on the mediums? Is he still on the mediums? Yeah, he's still on the mediums, I think. I see medium tires from JC. Yeah, that is true. Medium tires for him. Alfie is also still on the medium compound. Abdeman's going to the pit lane. We see Marmalade, one of the reserve drivers, is now reserved for Sauber. Charles is still, the top 3 is still the same. It's also the same we saw in Mexico, actually. But it will be something to see here. But it will be, because Canada won in Mexico actually, and VGPR became second and third, which was a very good result for them, outscoring Red Bull by quite a few points. But Red Bull were still the Constructor Championship because Red Bull didn't if they didn't, Red Bull didn't score any points, and VGPR got maximum points in that race. There will still be a fight, but right now it's not, and the championship is dead for VGPR as Red Bull took home the World Constructor Championship crown. I cannot speak for fuck's sake. After Mexico, after finishing home P6 and P5 of the drivers. It's a very chaotic Mexican Grand Prix, as we know it, in the land of the cartel. Right now we're in the land of the oil and the land where racing doesn't matter, as Economy is one of the finals. It's probably one of the I cannot speak, Jesus Christ. But Economy is actually the man to beat. After Zandvoort, he's been very rapid and showing that he has pace in tier 2. Jacob was the previous man who had the pace. Right now he's down in P18. I think he did not even sit a lap, and that's true. Job is 13th, as we see also him, the previous Dutch GP winner, not performing well in the last 3 races in Mexico and in Monza. We didn't perform too well. But we'll see. They have a sprint races, so we have a little bit more practice going to do. But expect pole times to be a little bit quicker in SQ1 than in the qualifying, just because there's more grip. Jacob goes fast, well, 21.3. with the soft tire, so that puts a professional P1 at the moment. With Carnaby's hunting is already 3/10 up in the sector 1, as this will be the man to beat of the hour. Carnaby, former pole sitter in Monza, Zandvoort, and in Mexico. He won in Mexico. He didn't win in Zandvoort after coming home in, I think, a P7. He puts a lot of hours in practice, but can he prove its worth with his practice to perform a masterful drive and get close to pole? It's 8/10 up for his PB, but right now he needs not to invalidate. He needs to this lap together. Doesn't need to go wide. To this flat out section, he needs to take way more curb on the outside, but he does make it stick. With I think he lost a little bit of speed. But right now it's for one more corner to go in this corner of death, as will be set by some of the esports drivers. We can easily invalidate. But right now across the line, it will be a 120.9, will be a personal best, and that will be the time to beat for the rest. As we see, Alfie has retired, will not compete again, but he retired on track. So if any drivers have issues with that, that will be at fault. Leclerc still on the mediums. We see Marble is starting his lap. Dave Charlester is starting his lap. But I think right now, I see Steffi climbing up to P4. Dave retired from session, will start almost last. As Jacob, can he start another lap? I think he can. He can. Jacob will go for another lap. And Icy is still close to pole, but he needs around 5/10 to win in this final corner to get close to the pole time of. But it does not get close. 1:20.2 will be the lap of him, as Lewis gets 4 fastest. Steffi says Charles is also busy. Game got so retired, as we see CJ climbing to P5, beating Steffi. We see at the Marble, excuse me. The top GS retired as well. He will start P60, maybe even lower if some people improve. You see Leclerc finishes his time with the medium run. Very good medium lap for him, especially on the rest on the soft tires. We see Marmalade finding his car through the tricky section of Sector 3. As I hope for him that he can set a proper lap time. He's one of the OGs in the Discord server. Been racing since Australia in Tier 1. And now he's in Tier 2. Right now is close to the line. It will be P4 for Marble. Very good lap time for him. As the fastest final sector for him. As Lewis invalidated, he will not send another lap time. Joe is done. Steffi is done. Joppe is done with invalidation. Leclerc is also done. JC is done. Lexi is still on the lap, but he is up on his time. He's up on his delta. The Frenchman will go for the line. It will be up for P7. As CJ fallen back to P9 after this lap. But VGPR on a P6 and 7, Charles is P5, and Marble might be the man of the hour, but the real man of the hour is this guy who's going into the pit lane right now and will start the sprint race in pole position after dominating the field in sprint qualifying and JC not having the best time. But it will be Kanabi that will set the fastest lap in the SQ1 and we'll head out for 10 laps in the sprint race. And we'll see what will happen there. As here you see your sprint qualifying results. You're going to be on pole with the top three forming IC and Jacob. Both Red Bulls trying to hunt down their rival in the Williams. This is the rest of your grid. We see Dave not having a very good qualifying, not be able to sell a lap. Top G, same, not a good lap for him. And the rest as well. A lot of retirements, not able to set their final lap due to track limits. But that's the issue with this track. Very hard to track limits. But right now we'll go down and see what will happen in the sprint race. I'm getting an advertisement, an ad about AliExpress. Well, no, for the. But we are out with the formation lap. A lot of cars swerving around trying to avoid other drivers. But this will be your starting lineup for today's race. Yeah, we'll see what will happen by Whatnot Books. I still don't know your name, so that's going to be very hard to pronounce. Yeah. As we have still the fight for championship is between the both Red Bulls, as it was in the good old days in 2023, where it wasn't that much fight, but definitely in the old times in 2010 there was a good championship fight with both Red Bulls, Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel. Vettel did not actually lead a single race or single day in the championship. He did not. Webber led most of the way actually, until Alonso took the lead after Korean GP, where Mark Webber apparently crashed out in the heavy rain race it was in Korea. An old track we have not seen back on the calendar since 2012. Very well, place that also wants to return to the Formula 1 grid, as we have seen in 2028. We see multiple tracks want to return, Kalami being one of them in South Africa. And if that returns, then we have 6 continents to go to and 6 continents to race in. But sadly, we have to say farewell from our very good, beloved friends in Europe and some historical tracks. As we have seen that Spa-Francorchamps will share a contract and will race 1 year and then the other. But right now, as long as it's in the game, which I better hope they will do it in the future, if even Codemasters EA is even allowed to make more F1 games, then we can see what we will race on if VGPR also continues for that long. We hope that we can make this league last long and that we can provide good racing, great fun, and also great championship battles and great battles on track. Kobe, shut up, I'm not responding to you because you were not allowed to. We're not here with my permission. So that's why. Gonna be parking up as we see Dave being one of the last ones to disqualify, but Top G will be the last one to park his car, as the rest will go. It will be we'll see before we get the proper lights. And it's 5 red lights for the sprint race in Qatar. It's lights out and away we go. We see, I think, I cannot speak for fuck's sake. We see Carter be getting off the line. Well, Jacob, I think, is one of losing out on the start. We see Marble having a very good start actually, but Jacob is on his inside, and Marble needs to let that place go. Carnaby leads the way as we see Jacob and Marble finding wheel to wheel, going through the first couple of corners. It's going cleanly. Jacob is lagging a little bit, falling back. Marble gets a P3, but Jacob is TPing all over the place. And down the inside he goes in turn 4. It's not a place to overtake, but he stays at. Lewis is on the inside of Marble. Marble maybe needs to give up this position, but right now it sticks for most of them. We see in the background also people fighting, Steffi and CJ. We see both Ferraris, and we see a McLaren getting caught up in the collision as well. There will be Leclerc probably. He's falling back a little bit in the order. We see Joppe making up a couple places, CJ falling 1 place back. We see Steffi climbing up to P9. Lexi is now P8. Aptum has one place. Right now the man of the Carnaby is, we see Yellow Sec 2. That is Top G, I think. That is Top G. That has fallen back a little bit, but right now it's Carnaby who still has the lead, and all races 8-10 gap going down to Sector 3. As Red Bull kept their places, but right now it's the war between these two. Because remember, they are in the championship fight. Jacob has 1 more point than his teammate, I believe, and that is 1 more point. That's bullshit. He has, I'm quickly going. He has 15 more points than his teammate after still signs of Monza, but right now it's Jacob who's behind his teammate. He's trying to get past him, going into turn 1, but there's simply ice is way too much overspeed. And that will not work for him. As the rest also be fine. Marble having a very good pace in Qatar, which is very impressed. But will bring up some good points for Sauber if that is included. CJ struggling a little bit in the back, but is in front of Steffi, one of his old rivals from season 1. But we'll see what he can do. Now to this corner section. As we're on board right now with him. Well, next time you are not even allowed to be here. That's the thing. So don't come to me if you're not even allowed to be here, mate. CJ following the Williams, going through this tricky section of the track. Of course, this whole circuit is tricky, and it will be for the rest of the drives also to confirm. One of the few drivers actually who has raced every race so far is Jake. Yeah, because there are a couple of drivers who have raced every race. Because we have Jacob, Icy, both Red Bulls we race every race. We also have Lexi, who has driven every race. We have some of the drivers. Alfie is not driven since Spa, due to being a team principal now, not wanting to contest for driving. Also, we have Top T, who is driven almost every race right now, but has a lot of DNF sadly to his name. And also other drivers who showed up as well. But right now, I'm quickly going to look back as we see this beautiful camera angle here we have here of Alfie on the inside of Steffi. But Steffi keeps his wheel in and will have the inside line for the next corner. But CJ is not giving this one up, and he moves beautifully around the outside of the Williams driver. And that's a beautiful move. That will be one of the record books, maybe here. But that is wide, so that will be a track limit. Atman's following Charleston behind. Also Charleston having some very good pace shown when he joined tier 1 actually. Because Charleston has been here a little bit. As we go look at his points total, Charleston has been racing since Austria. And he has bought him some good points, even a P3 finish in Monza, bringing home 31 points for the team. Which included the sprint race, of course, because we're using different point system. But right now it's still Jacob who's on the hunt for Carnaby's. 8 laps to go, but it will be difficult to overtake here. It's only one straight, and this is a lot of fast corners, difficult to follow in the dirty air you have here. It's not as bad as it is in the game. Oh, Marble! We see Marble going off a little bit, and he's done, and that will be the end of him. He had a very good race, but right now, it will be no points for the Sauber driver, being in P4. He spins it, but right now we'll watch on board with Jacob. Very sad to see from him. After bottling it on the curb, that's very sad to see. So, every other driver will move up 1 place. As Marble is in the pit lane to change his front wing. It probably will be the end of his race unless a safety car happens. But safety cars are rare with our reduced setting. So racing is more valid, and though we don't have more race covers, we see Leclerc and Alfie finding wheel to wheel, and Alfie is behind. As we see Leclerc hunting down Joppe. We have the first track limit penalty of the day with Joe getting the first 3 seconds in the sprint race, and I expect a lot more people to get one, because track limits here is a pain in the ass. It's gonna be has Jacob in his rail wing. As Jacob is getting closer to him, it's gonna be saving his battery. that looks like the flashing lights on the rear. You can see that the Williams. But right now it's Jacob who still has the hunt for him. And Icy's behind him, but I think Icy will also try to get past his teammate because he is also on the hunt for the championship. They are still fighting, and it could be decided this race if Icy or Jacob, neither of them score good points. But I think because there are still a lot of points on the line, because we see yellow again in sector 3. That's Steffi, I think. That is Steffi. Steffi boy has spun. And that will be it for him. But right now we see there's Joppe defending fiercely against Leclerc. And Leclerc gets past Joppe for 2 points to the McLaren team. And Joppe gets 1 point for P10. But if for every race weekend, non-sprint weekend, there are in total, you can get 25 points for race win, 3 for getting pole, and 1 for, there's 29 points you can get. And I think if Red Bull get a 1-2 in Abu Dhabi in the final round in Brazil, it could be close because they're now 15 points separated with each other, and it could be tough for Icy to catch up. But if Jacob doesn't score any good points in this race, in the sprint race or any of the races, that would be very good for Icy to try to catch up, because he's 15 points behind, which I said. They don't get points for qualifying in the sprint race, but they do get points no, pardon me, for the qualifying in the real race. But we'll see what will happen. But right now, as we look at the you don't get any points for the sprint, but you do get points for qualifying, so that will be top 3 points. We see this beautiful camera angle again. We see Lexi overtaking Abdomen in the background there. Oh, Abdomen going very aggressive, and that costs him, and it spins him around with Lexi. That's a very idiotic move for him. Trying to go around the outside in turn 1 was not the smartest thing to do, but right now Economy has 2 Red Bulls and 1 V-Carb and an Aston Martin right on his gearbox, waiting for him to pounce and to overtake. We see CJ also having a 3-second rooming as well, with JC and Gatsu also having 1. And Leclerc is 2 seconds behind, so if he gets stays in the 3-second gap, he will stay ahead of his teammate. Ataman now getting a 3-second time penalty, which I said, track limits here, it's a pain in the ass. It's Marvel gets fast lap 1 turn if you put 3 on the fresh rubber. It will bring home a point for him, but so there will be 1 point for him. Gonna be still leading the way, but now Jacob is way closer on him. It is gonna be tough for Jacob to overtake, but he also has his teammate behind. But if Red Bull play this smart to forget the championship battles for 2 seconds, they can double overtake him and box him in and use this to their advantage and get away and try to pull away for Kanabi. But right now he's led every single lap of this race. Jacob is now closing in, but we also see Lewis trying to get past the Red Bull driver. But right now it's gonna be Jacob trying to go down the outside, and it does. Icy also following, and will it stick for him? And no, it will not. Gonna be stays ahead of Icy, but Jacob now takes the lead of the Qatar sprint as Icy is still behind. But Charlester has overtaken Lewis and has overtaken Lexi. No, they did not. It was P5 for it because Lexi had the moments with Abdomen. But Abdomen is also close behind. The top 7 is fighting for this win. Of course, Abdomen cannot win it anymore with his 3-second time. We see yellow, and that's Marble again. And Joe getting 6 seconds now. He has now 6 seconds to his name. But right now, if Leclerc is closing up to CJ as well. CJ had a little bit of a moment maybe, but also in the back we also see the other drivers. As Dave has actually made it up to P10. Dave has made some comeback drive. He's now up to P10 and will do some. As Charles has a moment, as Charles has spun actually, and that will be it over for him. His sprint will be done. He's joining his teammate now back on track. We'll let this by. It's Joppe trying to go to the inside of Charles. That's very risky. As Joppe gets 3-6 typing, which is deserved for trying to overtake there. He needs to give it back as he does. And Charles losing a lot of places, but right now also McLaren moves up to 7 and 8. Optimus moves up to P6. As Lexi is now also on the gearbox of his teammate, but Ice is too far gone from his teammates. As that is good news for Jacob, but bad news for him, as we see one See Gaiman Godzilla driving slowly, going sector 3. Probably at the moment as Charles moves up to P10 will catch the final point of the sprint as CJ has let Leclerc pass. Leclerc will hunt down Abdomen. And Leclerc has some very good pace here, could maybe finish P6 and take over some good points for him as well, which will help him in the fight for P5 in the championship, because he's now 2 points behind Lexi. No, I think Lexi is way more ahead actually. Oh, sorry, because Lexi the points of Max got still not behind it. But yeah, as we see right now, it is still. As Jacob is still behind, but Lewis is now in the DRS of Jacob. So Jacob actually, Lewis is showing that he has also some decent good pace in that car of his. We watch on board as Marble is retired from session in pit lane, which is what he needs to do. He will not get the fast lap points, sadly, but it was a very good drive for him until shit hit the fan, and sadly he spun going out of the corner on this track. Right now, it's 2 more laps to go after this one, as Jacob has the DRS on the Williams driver. We will see what he can do. It's completely blue in the top 5. We have 3 blue cars, as it will be, but I think Jacob stays behind, trying to get on the final lap, which is smart. But right now he also needs to deal with Carnaby's his shenanigans for trying. For trying to get him to overtake him. But right now we see Ruben and Job fighting in the back, fighting in for P12, which will not lead to any points. We see that the P12 to P8, all of track limits, as Steffi Boy just is down in last. See Ruben actually losing other places, but he has a broken hand, so you need to respect that him for even driving, for attending his reigns. But right now it still is Carnaby leading the way, but I think Jacob in the Red Bull, number 16 on the number 15 on the car, will try to get past as Topsy gets a 10-second place guarantee for overtaking outside of the track. I don't know who we did. I think that was on Ruben, so that maybe could be removed if it's really bad. But right now, it is Jacob who will be hunting down the victory. We're going on the final lap on this Grand Prix, the final time we go in this DRS straight for a long time. It will be battery open for him, a battery open for Carnaby, but right now it doesn't look like Jacob has the overspeed, and Carnaby actually is going to stay ahead of Jacob. Jacob not playing smart with his battery, and now he has to do it off track and maybe push Carnaby to a penalty to get the 3 seconds. But right now also Lexi and Lewis are also still looking for that I cannot speak, looking for that podium. But right now it's Lexi still on the as we see yellow in sector 3. That is Steffi again. We're spinning around. He's not allowed to help give his teammate the DRS. If that happens though, it's not allowed, so that could be me in disqualification. But it looks like Carnaby will hold on to his sprint victory, and the 50% of this is done. But right now it will be. It's 5/10. I think Jake was too far gone. Steffi retires in the pit lane. No points for him, but it will be his teammate bringing home 10 points for his team in the fight for constructorship with McLaren, as it still would be on to catch. Oh, we see Lexi going wide there in the background, and then right now we see also the rest trying to get close. We see Lewis on the inside, but it will be Carnaby winning the sprint race. Alvin and the type at the end. Joppen retiring actually, crashing out. But this is your finishing order, as I see Lewis Adman gets ahead. We see Dave coming on P7 after a wonderful drive from starting last. As Dave is now, Dave, very on the way drive for him. But the man of the hour from the 10 laps of the sprint, and the rest has done 50% and needs to do the rest tomorrow in the next race. It is Carnaby who takes home the checkered flag for the second time in a row in VGPR. But we have to admire the photo finish we had at the end. But this will be your standings for the sprint race. We see Carnaby lead still as the Slovakian 1-2, as Jacob outscores his teammate with with a couple of points, which will be good for him in the championship. What Icy needs to do it now in the real race of qualifying. Admiral coming on P5 as Leclerc comes on P6. Very good company, but Dave also getting a very good point as Jalster, Alfie and CJ finish home the points for points. This is the rest of your place finisher. We have 3 DNFs with Joppe, Steffi and Marble. But we'll see what will happen in the race, in the qualifying for Qatar. We'll see you in the next time. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for qualifying. I was quickly doing some personal stuff. I got texted by the missus, so you always know it needs to go first. So if I don't do that, then I will not be here to commentate more of VGPR. Set times, and I'm getting spammed on Snapchat. Jesus Christ. What is something I cannot show on stream? Can I? No, I cannot. Alright, let's keep it that way then. Luckily, I don't need to show y'all, because if y'all see that, then y'all are like, what the fuck? Yeah, we are here for qualifying here in Bahrain. Bahrain, for fuck's sake. It looks like there's a little bit the same, but yeah, it's Qatar, of course. But Marley will be the first to set a lap on the soft tires with 18 laps of qualifying left, with 80 laps of qualifying. Only one session, bumpy around, of course, this track, but it's also smart. You go a lot to the side, which is done by the esports drivers and also is quicker. It's proven, because if esports does it, then it's quicker. Yeah. Yeah, if you're wondering why I'm still so quiet, I'm still texting with some people, so sorry about that, but it needs to be done. As 4 people, we still have 4 people watching. A lot of left during the sprint race, which is sad to see. We were 12, but right now a lot of people are gone, which I found very racist, to be honest. Yeah, hey, what can you do? Nothing. That's why. As the Marmalade will be the first one to set their lap. So 121.1 is the first provisional pole lap they need to beat. So we see a couple of drives on the medium tires. But we'll see what economy is now. I think you're gonna see it's as economy is validated. We'll see what the rest will do. I think we'll see one of the Alpines getting close to the line. I think that's Godzilla actually. Got so across the line and we'll go with right on board with 123.3 on the mediums. Very slow indeed compared to with Marbley, as Leclerc goes second fastest with the mediums as well. Doesn't almost bins it on the straight, weaving around. Luckily he doesn't. There we go. Yep. As Joppe climbing to P2. I don't know if he's on the soft tires for him. We see Alfie getting P3. We see Lexi climbing to P3. Alfie to P5. JC to P7. As we see Dave climbing to P8. Probably at the moment on his lap. Needing to abort, but right now he's back at it again. And he's evaded it again. Sorry for the jinx, Dave. Sorry for the jinx. But remember, rain is coming in the race, so that will be quite interesting to see how people drive and cope in the rain. Marmalade's still fastest with 8/10. So we'll see what happens. Topty's now on his lap. We see Ruben on his lap. Lewis is out in the pit lane. Jake was on his lap. We'll ride on board with the Red Bull drivers. Now has one more corner to go. We see Yellow in sector 1, but there's nothing too serious. As right now he goes through the line. As close as you get. Jacob. It will be P2 for him. 122.222. And Marmalade is cooking on this track. As Lexi goes wide. But he's not on the lap, so that doesn't really matter. Carnaby's in the pit lane. Will not set a medium lap time. As Topty is now on his lap as well. Going down to sector 2. We go with him. As I'm quickly looking. Steffi climbs to P3, by the way. I did not notice that. Sorry, I'm still busy with dealing with woman. I think that's Ruben. And then Alfie by, who is not on the lap, but both good friends. But now they're back as teammates again. Both Ferrari drivers, of course, were previous Williams drivers in Tier 2 Season 1. Got picked up by McLaren, were teammates then. Then they switched back off. And Alfie's not driving that much anymore due to having not that much time. And now it's Snippers with Fry, but need to fill in for his driver Fry fan, he's not been with us since Monza. So Icy's also on the lap. Epic Gamer, very nice guy as well, making his own league, which we'll of course do a partnership with, which is a nice thing to do. It's also Jalster and CJ. Yes, Jalster goes on this lap right now. We see CJ validating, so he will need to go again. Abdomen also not having said, but Ice is purple in sector 1 by far. Right above the Red Bull diver for a little bit. We'll see what he can do going through this final sector of the track. Not the final sector. This last few sectors of the track. I cannot count it properly these days. Jesus Christ. It's getting worse and worse with the day. But you all need to know, I'm not a professional commentator, but I am just doing it for the fun. And right now I like to do it as well. Somebody, I think there was one of the Alpines that went wide. So we could nice thing to do that. Was probably top. As right now it's Icy against the world. One more corner to go. Goes a little bit deep into that corner. BRS is not enough, but it will be enough for P3, and will be behind his teammate. And this rivalry will continue on, but right now it still is F1 championship. Still is a championship between the both bulls, but it will be tough for them. Jacob did also score one extra point with qualifying. Icy scored. Red Bull scored actually the same. They scored the same amount of points. Red Bull in Mexico due to the qualifying points they got. As Carnaby moves to P3, and I hope for him. I don't know what lap the time is on the soft tires. That's on the medium tires. Carnaby is on the medium tires, splits both Red Bulls. But remember, track gets better over time, so that might as well be not the best lap time for him as well. But we see also some other drivers. Charles now P7. As C is not had a lap time yet. Joe has not as well. He's now, we'll go right more of him. He's now on his lap. As Joe to the final corner goes just on the limit of track limits. Battery open, overtake on. Dust lining goes for P8. Gets ahead of the Frenchman and the Englishman of Leclerc. Leclerc also being an OG to this Discord, joining since Kota season 1 and staying here ever since. We have also a lot of other people. Jacob is also one of them who's joined early and stayed here. Marbley is probably Dave and Marbley of the OGs. If it comes to driving, it's probably JC or Marmalade, who has driven a lot. Top Gear also been here a long time. CJ as well. That's what we love to see. Loyalty to this league as Laxi's Purple Sector 1. But you cannot build a perfect league without a good community, which is step 1. And also, you need to be nice yourself. Because if you have a good drivers, but you're constantly not dealing with stuff and you're constantly ignoring stuff and letting everything happen in your Discord, then you know it's not going to end up. Lexi's now cooking right now. He's saying purple. And right now it's 1 sector to go. It's completely flat through this sector. It should be a 7 gear till Discord and then 6. And right now the Frenchman is hunting down the second pole of the season after taking pole on Silverstone. But it will be, if he gets one, it will be provisional P1 at the moment. But can he do anything about it? He cannot. It will be P4 for him. But he splits again. He still stays out of Icy. And that will be 2 points for Jacob and 0 for Icy in this qualifying. It's also Jacob finished ahead of his teammate in this qualifying, in this race. Marvel is also out now right now for his second lap of the day. Lewis is now also out watching with him a little bit, but he's invalidated in the final corner, so he probably will go into pit lane. No, he will go again with 10% battery. Just to set a lap and then go in. They've added that again. Ruben, also not the quickest, but we'll see what he can do. Yes. That was the gap between Marmalade and Jacob is just 600s, but Ruben right now going through the line as it goes. Will be 122, will be 122.5. We'll put them up to P11, head of Leclerc and the head of the G as well. Stays behind Game got so good. Pit lane, we see Marmalade there. Come to the box. Ooh, that's front wing damage actually for Marmalade. And a little bit of moment, spun a little bit probably. Steph is also on his out lap. Right now we see Icy the same. No, it's on his in lap, and Laxi also on his out lap. Carnaby is on his out lap for his final run in Q3. No, I think it will be 1 lap and 1 in lap. No, he probably could not do another lap time as it stands, so he will not have the best track conditions, but it will be tough because it's around 120 of a of course you go around the 120s, so that will be that, and you're gonna have the outlap, which is around the 140, so that will already add up to 3 minutes of time. And they also need to do an in lap, which will be around I think around 6 or 125 -ish. So that will be a lot of time for him, and then he only have around 2, maybe even less than 2 minutes to get out and do a lap time, which maybe will be enough. But right now it will be Carnaby trying to set pole here, provisional pole, down to turn 1 we go, stay as close to this white line as possible to avoid a little bit of bumps and try to get as much of the curb, break around the 50-meter board, which has been taken away on the inside curb. If you have the traction control off, you will not be full throttle going through that corner. Same here, it's just a little bit of a lift and a downshift. It keeps your gas a little bit on, then you can carry more speed through the corner here. Be as much close to the curbs as you can. Here, downshift here to this corner, go as early on the gas. A little bit of a lift there if you have TC off or maybe even flat out. Right now it's to the up, but it's not perfect for him. This corner as well, 3rd gear, also be steady with the gas, but But if you have TC on, you can just spam it. As 5th gear here, which I don't normally use. I normally use 4th gear there, but it is what you like. As Carnaby is moving up here, brake early, try to get as much quarter speed in through this corner and try to get as much speed for this short little straight, going through the fast corner of sector 3. and it will be the last. But purple right now 5 tenths up on this delta, but it will be enough. Steffi climbs to P3, is out as out qualified teammate for the first time this season yet. But I think Carnaby will stay ahead of his teammates, as it will be non-ERS for him in this final corner. It's not smart. It will lose you a lot of time. But he moves into the pit lane. He will go into the pit lane and he does not set his lap. Maybe he made a mistake. We don't know it yet. Steffi climbs up to P3, but that will be good for him. So we see CJ not going out. CJ is validated again. He needs to go. He needs 1 lap, otherwise he'll be start last. Same goes for Lewis. Both have not set a lap time yet. We see Steffi still out of track. We see Charleston now being on track as well. Truman and Alfie has improved by 9 tenths. It's P9 as we stand. Abdomen is right now on the lap, but he aborts it. He has Leclerc behind him. Will go out for his final lap of the session. My nose is killing me right now. As Leclerc will go in for his final lap of this qualifying session in Qatar. Then we have the race to look to. Let's see, and both Lewis and CJ are out, and they need this lap to stick together. Otherwise, they will not. They will start last. They will both start in the bottom of the grid, and we have to do a lot of fighting to get through. Leclerc validates on in the first corner, which is good to see. But Alfie is retired, so he will stay P9 as it stands. But right now, people can improve. Leclerc, as see Dave also validated. Topsy going out. JC is now on his first lap. Steffi is retired as well. This will not improve from P3 and will stay there for now. But Gaming Gutsio is a little bit up on his delta. Atman also retires, as it will be a lot of people will sending their final laps. Atman, Gaming Gutsio going as close to the line as possible, which will lose you time a little bit. Moves up a little bit, but will stay P11 as it stands. JC is on his lap right now. Which other drivers are coming to the line? We see Dave. Start has improved a lot. Oh, he got an advantage. Dave is going again for his final run in Q3 at the Leclerc, saving battery, saving fuel. JC is now on his lap as well. We see, I think that's gonna be starting his final lap of the qualifying session. As Jacob and Marmalade both out. Marmalade still holds provisional P1. Jacob is now out, as it will be an Icy's also, but he has validated, so it will be tougher. So Icy. He's getting the final section, so we can set another lap time. Leclerc is going out again, as Charker is also on this lap, but he needs his lap to stick together. Otherwise, he will start dead last. Leclerc also starting P50. Marbley also now on his lap. Watch on board with him. Formal P1 has not set a single pole lap in his league so far. But he loves this track. I can tell if he's doing that good off pace here. But I think Carnaby will be still the man to beat. The runner is still on his lap. Going for sector 3. It's gonna be purple. It's gonna be purple. 4 tenths up at his delta. It's not as much as it was on his previous first lap. Right now, Carnaby needs his lap to stick together. He does not need to go wide. He needs his lap to get provisional P1 and get home 3 points for qualifying. But remember, Jacob and Lexi, Icy has retired, so he will not improve at all. So he will stay P6 and will not score any qualifying points. Lewis up to P11. We see Dave done. Has not set a better lap time. And Carnaby goes fast with 120.8. We'll run it out to the night because why the hell not? And Marvelous validated, so will not set another lap. Jacob also validated. He will start P3 and will score 1 singular point that will help win the championship fight. Charleston moves up to P7. Ruben moves up to P8. Joppe is validated. He will not improve. Joe has a border lap. CJ moves up to P12. Not a good qualifying session for him. As Leclerc is on his lap right now, he's 7 tenths up. Woy out-qualifies his teammate. We'll see what Leclerc can do. He is very good. He was quick, but right now will be P9 for Leclerc. Out-qualifies his teammate. Very good lap from Leclerc. Lex is also still on the lap. Is 1 tenth up. purple sector 1 for him. He needs his time to try to get ahead of Steffi, but will it be enough to even get ahead of Jacob? And that will be crucial for Icy if he outqualifies his teammate, so Jacob will not score a single point in this qualifying session. That will help Icy a lot after being outscored in the sprint race. Right now it's gonna be Laxi across the line, DRS open, ERS overtake button on. It will be P4, just not enough for P3, and Jacob will keep his 1 point. But Kanabi will start again from the front row, from the first start, but he has a little bit sour friend to keep a company. Marmalade doing a very good job as well for qualifying, as Dave will start last again. But he started last in the sprint race and came home to get some good points in P7 actually. So we'll see what will happen. Just P7 for the Aston Martin team, as Ice is P6, but his teammate, his championship driver, was up at P3. But it will be difficult for the rest of them to try to get something out of the tricky conditions that will come to this race. In the rain, we'll see what will happen in Qatar. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the heavy wet race in Qatar. And right now it's pouring down like crazy. And this will be the ultimate challenge. The fast, tricky track of Qatar with track limits. And right now, with even weather you don't expect from this country at all. But we will see what the drivers will do in these tricky conditions around the circuit of Losail. I probably pronounced it poorly. My apologies. But right now, as we look at the championship standings in Mexico, it's Jacob who is leading with still 40 points to his back. And it could still end up in any other way. But if there's still a lot of points to get.
Melting face, but Steffi is the rain master flexed biceps, and Mifko is a race merchant.
I think it's more qualifying merchant in my opinion, but we'll see what will happen. As we go green on the grid, as the spray looks terrible. Game, what is this? Oh no, I don't want to be watching that. That looks terrible. Oh, can I change it? Please say I can change that. No. Well, we're stuck with these shitty conditions for now, so be prepared. Oh, this is hurting my. This game is so ugly, I swear. Conley leads the way from P1. It will be. I don't know what the weather will say for the rest of the race, but we can see when it will be drying off if it will be inters or it will be wet. There's 29 laps around this track. It is full wet for the fourth race in a row. There is wet weather in tier 2. After it will be because in Zandvoort it rains with inter times, and then we went to softs. In Monza was full wet, then we went to inter, then we went to dries. Mexico was the same conditions, and we don't know what Qatar is yet. But in this season there has been rain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times right now if we're speaking. So there's been more races than dry races in tier 2, but hopefully We can even that number a little bit when we go to the final round in Brazil. But right now we have the penultimate round in Qatar. There's one championship still on the fight. If Jacob outscores his teammate. So if we can look right, we're gonna look at after it when the start is done. Because right now it will be a lot for Jacob to take in. There are still 40 points between the two after Mexico. Jacob has 189, not telling this race, and IC has 184. But Jacob scored his teammate. Ruben has this QBC Charleston parking his car. Davis parked his car as the rest will park up. And we see IC very aggressive at the start. He knows what he needs to do. You got this race, but the 5 red lights are on for 20 laps in the wet in Qatar. It's lights out and away we go for the sprint race and for racing the car. We see Lexi getting a very good start. Jacob getting off the line very poorly. Marmalade struggling for grip out there. Lexi pulling away in the lead. Lexi taking the lead into turn 1. Marmalade on the inside, but Carnaby doesn't give this fight up and tries to fight around the outside. It's so tough in this weather. Carnaby giving a shot. We see Jacob going wide in the weather. In the wet weather, Jacob again losing place at the start in the wet. And Jacob is again for the 3rd race in a row losing places at the start of the race. We see CJ dropping back a lot as well. Carnaby keeping his lead. Lexi having a very good start. Steffi up the P3. Marmalade falling back for P2. Job having a very good job. And IC is fighting. They're fighting very hard. As IC down the inside of goal is Ruben and contact has been made. IC needs to give the place back and he does so. He does not overtake him. Job is fighting for their life out there in these wet weather conditions. Leclerc is up to P10 right now. Joe is down the inside of Dave. Dave moving up a lot of places. Down was starting last, now up to P10 already. Maybe as a rain setup, but Dave is cooking in these weather conditions. Leclerc's drop back to P12. We see there's Sao and Alpine going wide and Moss Top G as well. They're all sliding all over the place. JG on the inside of Top G and he makes it stick actually. We see him there and that was CJ up to P. He's now down to P15. We see Lewis and Jacob is now lost after his start and he needs to do a comeback drive, but as it stands right now, yeah, that IC will take the lead of the championship. A chaotic race, we had a chaotic start, we had Ruben is up to P5, we see Marmalade going to the pit lane. Oh no, Marmalade is on the inters. Marmalade's on the inter tire actually. He started on the inters, he went across the tire to get so cool in the tires, but we'll see what happened. We see the position gained, Ruben gained more, and we see Carnaby and Lexi fighting for the lead, going to turn 1, and this was very beautiful fighting. We see Jacob lost all his places again, and needs to do a comeback drive again, and needs to have a good side call in order to get close to the win. We see Carnaby getting pushed off the track, and there we see another car going wide. I don't know who that was, it looked like I don't know who that is. It's very difficult to see in this wet weather. I think it was Joppe and Marmalade going wide, I think as well. We see the cars in the back. We see Lexi going off his track as well. We see Alfie getting a little bit of a push to Joe. A little bit of ghosting going on, and Leclerc's on the inside. As Lexi is now, as Steffi takes the lead of the Grand Prix. As Lewis is now fighting with Jacob at the back. Carnaby is falling back to P5. As Dave has moved up to P6. And Dave is cooking in these weather conditions. Now up to P6 after avoiding Christian. Doing it with Carnaby, his former driver actually for Aston Martin. And he stabbed him in the back. But I think Dave will try to get some revenge here. And try. And he will do. It's very difficult to see with the spray. Very beautiful helmet from Dave. But right now we'll go on the main straight. Steffi's clear of Ruben. Steffi has not won a race since Monza season 1. And maybe he can win another race. But right now we'll see what he can do. Marvin is still on the wet and the inters. But he is gaining a little bit of time. Steffi fast lap 1:39.6 will be the benchmark we see there. We see in the background. We see IC getting past Ruben and go into P2 for 20 points. Well, his teammate is not getting any points for now, but Ruben is not giving this up, but he needs to give up as Charles is also on his inside line. Very good racing we see here. Charles and Aston Martin moves up. Ruben is now down to P4 and will need to stay close to them in order to get his podium. He's not had a single podium this whole season. And will try to get, but he was good in the weather, in the wet in Australia. we'll see what happened. Leclerc and Leclerc's now finally with Job. Oh, Job a little bit of a slide there. As CJ gained a little bit of places from his start. Marble is now up to piece. Marble is fighting with the rest. He's on the inter tires. He's gambling, but it looks like he has more grip and more speed on them tires. And now on the inside, he moves up down to P50. But now Top G has to switch back. A very beautiful move for Top G. Switch backing Marble. And Marble is letting people past. I don't know what's happening with him. Marble is now down to last, but I think what happened there. But is letting Steffi still has the very good leads, and Icy is gaining a little bit of time on him. Battery wise, it looks like Icy is still very good with battery. But he was purple for a second, but Charles is still behind him, and it's still fun to see that. This is what you get when you put the weather on the dynamic. You're gonna have rain in Qatar, which I know people hate, of course. I've driven here as well, it's not fun. But we'll see what happens. A little bit wide for Icy, but it still shows how good people are in the wet. As Charles is fast, well, 38.8. As Icy right now, we see this beautiful camera angle of Qatar. With this buggy ass spray, we'll see as well. I hope I can maybe try to fix that, but it stands right now. This is how it goes. But as it stands, gonna be now down to P5. As Jacob needs to do a lot of work to kind of catch up to his championship rival. And as it stands right now, I think he will be leading the way. But the sprint race, as we're gonna quickly go look at the sprint results. 4 penalties have been applied to the race. Standing as we can quickly look at the results of the sprint race. Yeah, because I think, sorry, I'm not paying that much attention to the screen, but we see in the background Marble and Jacob fighting pretty hard. We'll go quickly look at them. But I think the Inters are getting better and better. Yeah, in the sprint race, Jacob became P2, which gave him 9 points, and and the IC will be 4. It will be 7 points, so that's 2 points difference. So that would right now will mean that there will be 2 points difference, and qualifying it was 2 points, 1 point for Jacob, so that means there's 3 points different now going through them. So right now, as it stands right now, Ice will take the lead of the championship. As Ice also takes fast time, but that will also be 1 point. As Marble is getting quicker on the Inters, he has way more grip, but it's getting pushed off track there by Godzilla. Jacob is also still fighting there. As right now we want more, but the Inters are not looking that quick right now. We'll see when they are becoming quicker with a lot that. But right now it's Steffi has Icy behind him, who's hunting down his victory since I believe it was Spa when he lost 1. In Zandvoort we have Joppe. In Monza we had Charkov from McLaren, and last week he had Mifko. So we see yellow, and that's Marble. Marble is spun standing on the inter tires. So we'll see when they become quicker. But right now it's not looking too good for the Sauber driver. After getting 2 points for qualifying, starting P2, now down to P19. As Steffi leading the way still, as we see a little bit of position chasing in the background. Leclerc and CJ actually moving up a lot. Now Leclerc and P8. Lexi is now split both McLarens. As actually the Frenchman not having the best start. He's lost 5 positions, and Charker has gained 3, and Alfie gained 5, and Dave, the man of the show, has gained 14 places. Dave for the win, ladies and gentlemen. If Dave wins this Grand Prix, I will not donate anything, but yeah, I will do something stupid. Just letting y'all know. But Steffi has a 3-second time penalty, so that is rough for him. As it's fast lap change, Dave is cooking with them tires. Dave is hunting down Ruben for P4, trying to go after his teammate. Down the inside he goes, and Ruben lets it stick, and Dave moves up to P4. But is it enough? It is enough to stay out of the Ferrari, and Dave is now up to P4 and will hunt down his best ever result in VGPR since the podium he got in Tier 1 Australia in the very first race of the season and of this league. But he has not driven a lot, has DNF'd a lot, but right now it looks like he has good pace and good consistency to get close to the win. As Charles' team is now up on the rear wing of Icy. We see Steffi also ahead there in this beautiful angle on the camera. We see him using an overtake, trying to get close. But right now, it looks like Steffi is still holding up the pack. There's a lot of slime in my throat. I'm talking that much. I was in a bit slidey under exit. Joe getting a physical up as well. Jacob's now up to P17. Still no points for him. In P15 you get the first point position in VGPR. That may be changed even for next season. We'll see what will happen as they're all sliding through the sector of Sector 3. I will quickly grab a little bit of a map to help me guide through this fun track, as Qatar is also known actually for being a very good MotoGP track with the fast medium speed corners where everyone's not that good of a track because it's not that easy to overtake here in real life. And of course the astounding heat which brings in this desert in Qatar. But it looks like Icy is on the rear wing of Steffi. Is on the left side of the screen. Dave, another fast at 37.9. Marvin is not sending any faster with them in the tires. But it looks like right now, but Steffi sliding through, and same goes for Icy. It looks like Piastri and Leclerc all over again in Baku, but right as Steffi is keeping his ground, is holding up Icy, as Charles is behind with Dave as well, following in close. There is very close battles, which we love to see. I'm sorry, my throat is really killing me right now. We have a very beautiful, I found a very nice beautiful map I can use to sound a little bit more of a nerd, but this is why I think more in the wet instead of the dry. As of course the speed trap is down into turn 1, as we see yellow, and as Gaming got sales retired from this session. He has spun, I think, on the exit. I think we see him somewhere over here. No, he has retired in all of the session, and that will be, if that's reported, that could lead to some penalty points for him, because you're not allowed to retire on track. Alexis has actually been overtaken by CJ as well, and now he's dropped back to P10. Lexi, the Frenchman, not having a good start to this race, sliding still on the rear, as we see Carmi going wide in the background. Ruben has overtaken me as well, as Ruben and both Ferraris are looking very pacey indeed in this wet weather condition in Qatar, as Jacob again is the unlucky out on the start. As we see Gatso saying of the radio that no one can drive, but I think first look at yourself. And we see Alfie wheel to wheel of Carnaby down to turn 1 to go, and Alfie gets ahead of the Williams driver. Carnaby dropping back from P1 down to P6, a little bit of a moment on the exit, tapping the rear of Alfie. Oh, Steffi! Steffi's a moment, Steffi had a moment, and Steffi's now dropped back to P5, I think even. No, he's ghosting still, but right now he's not ghosting anymore, and he has an he has a fry on the outside. He pushes him off. And Steffi pushing Ruben wide, and that is a 3-second type of Ruben, but that could be removed if further noticed, because that was a dirty move from Steffi pushing the Ferrari driver off. But Icy leads the way now in this in the Qatar Grand Prix, as Dave is now P2 behind him, will hunt down and try to get his first victory. That's very close on track limits there, Dave. As this Aston Martin driver, Aston Martin could maybe get that first 1-2 in the league. There has not been many 1-2s here. The only 1-2s that we had so far are from Red Bull in this season. We had one for Red Bull in tier 2 in Spa, as Dave starting to go down the inside into turn 12. Surely not, it looks like, but he stuck it, and Dave makes the move but past it, going into the fast sector. He doesn't wait for the straight, he wants it now, and Dave is ahead as Charleston and Steffi are fighting out as well. Steffi going wide, and Charleston trying to get past the Williams and Steffi keeping his foot, but he loses 4 places in 1 lap. But Dave leads the way of the Qatar Grand Prix, and Ice is behind him and wants to place back on the straightaway go. And Ice is gaining, and there's Aston Martin, and the Aston Martin has gone. As Icy takes back the lead, Dave being very risky. Steffi and Alfie fighting very hard. Alfie trying to go down the inside of turn 2, which is not the smartest place to go. It's normally a fast corner in 5th gear with 200 miles per hour. But right now it's in a wet weather, it's a little bit slower. Still 5th gear for the traction, of course. It's gonna be down down Williams. Not looking too good. We see Leclerc pulling away a little bit from his teammates, from the CJ. As here a little bit as we see it. Icy pulling away. Purple's first sector, and Dave is still hunting down. As starting last. He's now up to P2, and I don't normally say this and don't normally play favorites, but I think I want my fellow owner, fellow founder of this league, to win his first race here after not being able to drive a lot. But it looks like it's still wet and it will not dry up. But the point is, when will we see the first pit stops? When is it gonna dry up eventually? We don't know it yet. But right now, all we know is that's gonna come out to skill, to keep the car on track, and to not get any track damage. They did 9 laps. We only did 10 laps of this amazing Grand Prix. As we see Marmalade still struggling on the Inters. Not getting that much time actually. We keep an eye, but he's gaining now a little bit of time actually. I see, but he's losing a little bit of time on the exit. But I see Marmalade gaining some time actually. We'll see. We keep an eye on his times, but I think maybe his tires right now will be quicker. Jacob and the physical type will not help his hunt to get the points, and he's 2 seconds off the next car ahead of him. We see also Lexi close on the rear wing of Leclerc. Leclerc let this teammate go through as CJ is hunting down Carnaby, his fellow rival of him as well. CJ is still in the hunt for some good points after Mexico, not getting that much places. Right now we see it's CJ is now P5 in the championship, being overtaken by Lexi for P4. It's now Red Bull Junior is literally whole Red Bull team 1 and 4 in the championship, with Lewis in P2 and P4 for Lexi. We see Lexi down the inside, he goes. We don't get a good camera angle, we have to run on board with Leclerc, but it looks like Lexi has made the move stick, going into that's turn 7. As that will be it for Dave. Got a 3-second time penalty for him. That is not too good for him, that will probably make his chance for the victory harder. And so here we see the time penalty. We see Joe, top G abdomen, Jacob getting 6 seconds, so he will not even be. But it looks like Marble is getting a lot of time actually. But Jacob is losing. No, Jacob is not losing that much time. He gained a lot of time on JC. A little bit of a slide of IC on the exit. But Dave is hunting down still that victory. This is Alvia missing time for multiple warnings coming out of the final core. We see the first man in the pit, and that's Steffi. And will he go to the inter tire? We'll see what he can do. We see Marble getting a lot of time. It's now 10 seconds actually, as we look at the screen. Are those inters? Are those inters? They are not inters. They are wet weather tires. AJ's got a 6-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, my voice is gone. At the wet weathers, but I don't know, is JC going also to the wets? It's not dry enough. Marble getting a fast lap on the 1-2. It's wet. Steffi and JC have fucked themselves by not going to the inters. But yeah, they will see. But if the inters are quicker now, Marble is selling fastest laps. We'll see what will stay. But I think the inters right now are quicker. We will finish on the right now in lap 11 of 29. The inters have gone quicker. I said it maybe was gonna stay a full wet weather race, but right now it looks like the inters are getting quicker. But I think for most it's smarter just to keep out and maybe survive a little bit longer on these wets and not go too early. But we'll see. Steffi and JC has boxed. They are still on the wets, but it says he has 10 seconds, of course, from his incident. Is yeah. But we'll see. Will people box? We'll see what will happen. We see the top 5 staying, top 4 staying out. As no, we see Carnaby bidding. We see CJ also going to the pit lane. As Leclerc will not follow and will let his teammate go through. We see 2 more people in the pit lane, and now we see Lexi on the rear wing of Leclerc. Up to P7, Joppe as well. They will fall back a lot, but the inters are probably quicker. But Marble still lost a little bit of time actually on the inter tires, but we'll see what will happen. Because as we see another car going in the pit lane, I think that was Steffi, and he went to the inters. I think he goes to the inters. I think he retires. We don't know what he will do. No, inter tires for Steffi. So we'll see what will happen. But Icy still holding out Dave. But right now it's 1.4 seconds between him and his teammate. If Charleston is smart, he can hold up the pack behind him, the both Ferraris, and maybe try to get Dave to get that P2. Or maybe get that podium, because both Ferraris also have a 3-second time penalty. As it's beautiful to see Dave finally getting his chance to properly show his pace. After having a lot of troubles with his setup and also a lot of troubles with not even being able to drive after having personal issues. Sad to see. But Dave is looking to get his first victory in VGPR season. First victory in VGPR in general. The lads will stay out one more lap. They will stay out longer on the wets. As we see Alfie, see Rumen going into the pit lane and to go fit the Inter tires. But doesn't look like they are faster. It doesn't necessarily look like Carnaby is on the wet tires, but he has CJ behind him. He is on the wets, but we'll see what he can set for lap time. I don't know if the Inters are that quick actually. We see a lot more people boxing, but we'll see what will happen going down the straight if they're gaining time or losing time. But if they're saying something, yeah, but we'll see what the fast lap will be for most of them. We see CJ getting ahead of Alfie, which is critical. So I think Alfie lost a lot of time with his pit stop. Rumen is still ahead, but yeah, we'll see what will happen with the fast lap. We keep an eye on the fast lap of the Grand Prix as it stands, but for now, it is still the hunt for the win. So Dave losing a little bit of time now, is 5 times behind. Maybe using a little bit the wrong gears in some corners, but yeah, it's we'll see what the Ints will do. But Steffi, I don't know if they're gaining that much time on the wet runners, but we'll see. Marmalade is gaining time on the Carnaby. Carnaby is on the wet weather, but he's losing again. It is a 50-50. I think they're right on the crossing point from Inters to wets. But I think maybe that fast lap of Marmalade has put them off because they're not necessarily that much quicker. Because the front runners will stay out. We see Charleston going in the pit lane, and I think is it going to be Inters or is it going to be wets from him? Because we are not seeing that much faster lap times. Because Marmalade is losing time on Carnaby. It's going to be Inters. No, it's going to be wets. It's going to be wets. And I think maybe the Inter runners maybe screwed up after all. We see Ivan going to the pit, and we see more people boxing right now. We see Jacob also pitting, but the issue is, what will they do? Rumen went to the wet weather. I know what Alfie did. Alfie's also on the wets. We see Declare on the wet weather tires. But we can see, what we will see, it's not fast lap for him. CJ moves up to P9 with his Inters. He has a fellow Intermate behind him. We see Declare trying to get past Alfie, and he does so on the straight, but a little bit of contact between him. Alfie leaves him the space, but Leclerc gets through with a little bit of push off the pass. Lewis now, what tires are they? Oh, they are all wets. And I think Jacob also goes to wets. Yeah, they're all wets, but Steph is now fast lap for one. Steffi now fastest lap with a 1:36.3. I think the Inters are a little bit quicker, but not that much. I think to some corners they're quick, but I think they're slowing on exits, which will cost them some time. But we'll keep an eye on the times as it stands. But I think if you quickly look at the tire situation, we have 4 drivers on the Inters. Those are both McLarens, one of the Sauers, and Steffi. That's Marmalade. But we'll see. Marmalade is very long on those Inters. So we'll see. But we'll keep an eye out on the gap between CJ and Carnaby. As we see top going in the pit lane. And they will pit for their... What the thing is, we see I think the wet weather going on. We see here also the wet weather tires going on. They are gambling on the wet weather. We see Joppe also. We see Lexi also going into the pit lane. So IC will keep his lead of this Grand Prix. We see also Dave following short behind Leclerc, getting a 3-second time for multiple track limit violations. But it looks like Marvin is finally boxing. We'll see what tire he will go on to. And the Sauber driver going on the pit lane for his final stop of the race. Joe also in the pit lane. We see Joppe in the pit lane, Lexi in the pit lane. Yeah, sector 3, that is JZ. Spun around into turn 12, I believe. That is turn 13. Sorry. As Joppe has boxed for the wet weather. And both McLarens are now But it looks like the Inters are getting quicker. So maybe CJ and Leclerc have gone a good strategy after all. I don't know what that was, but yeah. Marbley goes out again on track. We'll quickly look at the tires right now. It's still wet. We have still 4 drivers on the Inters, but it's gonna be close. But yeah, I think on some cases they are faster, but some cases they are not faster. There are confusing. See, JC retires from the session in pit lane, so that is allowed. As Ruben has actually jumped Dave. Now Dave is down to P3 with his teammates behind him with also a 3-second time penalty. As Canopy will move up to P. Will then move up to P2 with the time penalty they will have. But it looks like CJ is still close, and yeah, it is the same round of time as Marley has his first track limit violations of the race, first 3-second time penalty. We see the constantly yellow flag flashing of JC, but he's now driving out of the pit lane, but he is retired, so that doesn't matter at all. As Jacob will bring on 1 point that will be crucial for him for the championship fight, but his teammate is now bringing him 25 points in this race. As Top G gets a 3-second time penalty, and we see CJ is gaining a little bit of time. We see Leclerc having to fight with Alfie, who's on the weather tires, but I think maybe they gambled right, they gambled wrong, I don't know yet, but right now Alfie needs to stay behind the McLaren, as Jacob gets another 3-second time penalty, and it looks like in this case Icy, if he keeps his head cool and stays in the 3-second time of his fellow rivals, he will win the Qatar Grand Prix in his race. Steffi getting a 3-second time penalty, but I think most drivers have switched to a wet setup when coming to this. I think Dave being one of them, after he has very good pace in these wet weather conditions. As Jacob struggling out there. Still P15 and not getting places. Afterman and Lewis. Yeah, Afterman on a little bit behind Joe. Lexi's also one of the few without touch is behind Joppe. Charles also looking at these now 1.4 seconds. This Lexi is close to Joppe. But yeah, it looks like but CJ is closer to Qatar B as it stands right now. But it's purple sector for CJ. So is it time for the end? Oh, gonna be going wide in the penultimate corner. In turn 15 goes wide and CJ goes through, and gonna be letting the place go. But as it stands right now, are the Inters quicker? We'll see with this lap time. They are getting quicker, but it's not that quick. I think we'll see what the fast laps say from every people. We can look what the fast lap, it's all on the 36s, but it's a little bit of time that they're gaining, but it's not. It's still pretty damn wet. But we'll see what will happen. But it's still 13 laps to go, and the Inters are a little bit faster, but not that much. But if you 35.6 now for Marbley. So I don't know if what his battery has done. We'll quickly check with him. It is a lot, so that will be 1 point for him to take home for the fast lap. CJ moves up to P5 and we'll go to P2 as it stands right now with the time penalties, which will also, but we see Leclerc in the background fighting with Alfie. We quickly look at the time penalties we have for the race. We have the whole, from the top 10, there are only people with 3 seconds, and down there we have people with 9, 3, we have 3 people with 9 seconds with Jacob, Steffi, and Joe. We have one person with 6 seconds that is top gener. All the other drivers have got a 3-second time penalty. As we see Ruben on the gearbox of the Red Bull Ferrari versus Red Bull. It looks like it's fun to see this battle going back around. But right now, it's Red Bull leading away. Alfie getting another 3 seconds. That will be 6 for him at the end of this race. But Alfie and Leclerc on the league of their own, if you can see on the mini-map right there. And also the top, the bottom 3 are also in the league battle of their own. But right now it looks like Icy's holding up Ruben. And right now it doesn't look like he can go through. And Ruben will stay behind. That's probably getting a physical time penalty as well. CJ is now not getting that much time on Charleston, but the Inters are, I think, around maybe 1/10 a lap quicker. But if you know how to use them. That's the issue. Because if you don't really know how to use them, of course, they're going to be very difficult to drive. Due to, of course, the lack of traction you have with the Inters. Joe getting a free second up, and there will be 12 seconds for him at the end of the race. We see Jacob boxing again. It might be a retirement for a championship leader. No, he gone to Inters, but it looks like front wing damage he has. So Jacob on the Inters will try to maybe get a point for fast lap, but he's not getting points while his teammate is in the lead. And yeah, will probably take away the championship lead. We see a Haas driver going slow. That's Joe, who has spun around, I think, in the exit of turn 5. So we are now half past 10, and we have 10 laps to go of this Qatar Grand Prix, and Icy pulling away a little bit more of his fellow rival Ruben, as Dave is now behind him. He wants that track position, he wants that P2 if he can even get it, because CJ is falling back a lot actually. CJ is dropped back a lot, made a mistake or something, or those tires are just not doing that good at all. I don't know why, but I've seen a non-overtake for everyone. Maybe it's probably a glitch, but right now we see, no, it's not a glitch, we see just people doing it. We see Adnan get the secret type belt as well. CJ is dropping back a lot actually. And I think it's maybe the rain is getting worse. We'll watch out what will happen with the laptop still. But right now it's just still tricky. It's gonna be actually yeah, Claire. It's yeah, Alfie made a mistake actually, because now Claire is quite far ahead of him actually. Yeah, the sector 3. That is Joe, I think, again, and he will probably retire his car. And he has front wing damage a lot, sliding all over the place. And there will probably be a pit stop, and there will be one place to catch for Jacob. So we will be on one place, I blame, and it will be it for them. Icy still leading the way with the wet, of course. Still wet, still raining here. It doesn't rain normally in Qatar, as Joe has retired from the session in the pit lane. And that is race over for him. We have both Haas drivers retiring and not scoring points for the, I don't know how many Grand Prix in a row. We'll quickly check out if they even scored points. And I think for the, yeah, they scored points. 80 points actually, Mexico. They scored one in the race, they didn't score any points. That was Austria, where they didn't drive. The fight, by the way, for the constructor is still going on. We have Sauber on 99 points. 1 point ahead is Mercedes, 1 point ahead is Alpine, and then 28 points ahead is Ferrari with 129. And then we have McLaren, who's with 141. Then we have Williams with 160, with Aston Martin with 188. Then there's and then we have Racing Bulls, who is a lot of points ahead of Aston Martin, but we have our champion of this season. We see Dave moving up to P2 and taking the P2 away from Ruben, but Ruben is not giving this up without a fight, trying to stick it around the outside. Now he has the inside line going through turn 2, and he makes a stick. Dave needs to stay behind the Red Bull, the Ferrari, as Afterman goes in pit. They get that secret type penalty for speeding in pit, and might be a retirement, and it is a retirement for Afterman, as Jacob will score 1 point still with this race. Not the best race for him. What happened with the man who dominated the beginning of this season, with, if we're gonna recall, scoring most of the victories, scoring 1, 2, 3 victories, and not winning since Austria season. Yeah, it's not winning since Austria this season. Jacob not having the best results for him, after not scoring any points also in the main race of the Bar and in Monza. Mexico getting home, getting P5, and same amount of points as his teammate. Still as it stands, Jacob and Icy will fight this battle out for going through Brazil, where the final race of the season will determine who will be champion in VGPR Tier 2. Our championship has been decided Tier 1 already, with Heath taking home his second title and claiming his #1 badge for another season in VGPR, as we go down to Season 3, which will be held, of course, in FL25, after having 2 magnificent this season in this shithole of a game, as we have 10 laps to go of this Qatar, 9 laps to go of this Qatar Grand Prix. As we see yellow sector 2, that is, I think, Steffi, who has spun. Steffi going slowly on the Inters, and he's struggling a lot. Jacob also not gaining that time. I think the Inters were quick for a couple of laps, and right now they're falling apart like Lego, like little pieces of Lego when you fall it on the ground. Right now, Steffi getting another type, and there will be 12 for him. And it's not looking good for him. But on the other hand, Carter B is still in the points and still P6, as Steffi has spun around going into the penultimate corner. Job P9 Lexi is one of the few with Icy and Carnaby who's not got the track limit yet. The safety car is out, and we see the safety car, and this is, I think, Steffi's doing, and this is not what it's supposed to be. Steffi has caused the safety car, and this is not allowed, and his front wing is gone. And right now, the field has changed, but what will they do? What will they do? What will they box? But I think for most people, this will ruin their races, especially for the top 5, who were clear of the rest and had penalties. But for Carnaby, this is beautiful, but this may be investigated. But right now, I think Steffi, I don't know what happened with him, but yeah. Front wing on, safety car out, and right now, the shit hit the fan, as we'll see. But will people box for new tires? I think it's smart, but what will they do? Will they go to inters, or will they go to wets? We see what the top will do. We see Ice staying out, Room is staying out, Dave staying out. We will watch with what the rest will do. I don't know what the rest will do. As we see CJ staying out on the inters, Leclerc staying out, I think, as well. No, Leclerc going in. Leclerc. No, doesn't go in. He stays out. But we see Alfie going in the pit lane. Alfie goes into the box. Alfie going into the pit lane. We see Joppe also pitting. They have nothing to lose. Lexi. And we see Lewis also going in the pit lane. We see Top G also pitting. I think the rest at the bottom of the field will all pit. So it is best for them. But we'll see what tires they will fit. We'll quickly look at the tires as they will pit. We see Alfie to the inches, Joppe to the inter tire. We'll watch what the rest will do with Lewis and Top G as well pitting. I think Jacob will pit as well, just because we see the rest all going to inter tires. But is it gonna be quick enough? Because the ins are a little bit quicker, but not that much. But they do have fresh inters. We'll see what will happen with them. But I think after the safety car restart, there will be around 4 to 5 laps of racing left. So this will be crucial, and I think that this will be a very chaotic safety car restart. As Icy leads the way, he doesn't have a penalty. Roman is now in P2 with both Astons P3, P4. Very good result for them. Finally getting that team result they wanted all season long. But yeah, Jake can also close up a little bit more and get some more points on the board. But if we can look at the penalties, I think he's not getting any more points with 12 second time penalties to his name. We also look at the position changes. We see Steffi retiring after cycle before, Jacob having a very bad start, Marley as well having a very bad start. But in the IC, Ruben, Dave, Charleston and CJ all getting a lot of places with the start, and Carnaby falling back from pole down to P5, P6. Not good for him. As we're going on to another lap of safety car, but if the drivers can keep the tires cool, warm, that will be crucial for them. We see some tactics in the garage of Aston Martin. As Joe has left the session, as we still have this. Then this is not. Don't ignore this. He's not James Reed, of course. That is Jacob. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I think I forgot to turn this off. As we see, Joppe got kicked out. I will invite him back immediately. As we will ride on board with IC, it will set the pace for restart. And safety cars, of course, in this lap. And I cannot. As David, what the hell happened? Oh no, this is not right. What the fuck happened? No, 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 no. This is bullshit. Of course this happens. Why can this game be fucking good for 2 seconds? Why? Yeah, this is unfair. But Icy needs to go right now, and he does go, but what the hell happened? Because right now we see a lot of drivers all over the place. This is not how it was supposed to go. See rooming down, yeah, but this is just BS. But are they lapped? No, they're lapped. No, but I think, yeah, this is bullshit. This is a race glitch. They are lapped cars. This is not how it's supposed to go. Oh my, yeah, this is a bullshit. But they are quicker, but I don't know what's happening right now. It's all over the place. We see someone going wide. I think that's Leclerc. Right now, yeah, right now it's fixed. It's fixed. Oh wait, what the hell? Leclerc's now down to last. Yeah, it's right now. Yeah, it's still fixed. Now it's fixed. I don't know what happened there. This was all glitched. It may even have to end with the safety car results, because this was just all the bullshit. Because this was just a huge bug of the game, and I think a lot of people got robbed, which including Leclerc, it's one of them, Charles as well, Dave as well. But what on earth happened? See Charles dropping back a lot actually with his wet weather tires. Dave got another 3-second time for multiple track limits, so his chance of a podium is gone as ice. But I don't know what will happen. CJ's on the inter tires, but he's very rapid with them tires. But I think they actually also get a 3-second time belt, so that will ruin. It will be tough for him. But yeah, Dave getting past Corner B right now, and Dave is smart. He can hold up Corner B a lot and try to do something with it. CJ, yes, Ruben is now his ice is clear, and is probably set to win this Grand Prix. But Leclerc, I don't know what happened with him, but he just TP. I don't know what happened with the restart. But it's really strange that this happened again. But that this happened. But Carnaby's are fighting versus life out there with the wet tires. But the Inters are just quicker, have more grip. As Job is behind Williams, trying to hunt him down, and looking for that P6. As around the outside, it doesn't work. Jacob and Fischer, we see Alfie on the inside of Job. No, there was actually Top G on the inside of him. As we see Job on the inside of Alfie, and that is still working. Alfie getting pushed off the track though, as he's not leaving space for Alfie to rejoin, which is not that nice. Jacob up to P10 as the sense that there will be more points for him, which will be good for him in the championship standings. But right now, with this glitch, it may even be a safety, maybe even safety car results, if that is the case. Because right now, what happened here is very strange. CJ is now losing in time to Ruben on the wet weather tires. We have 4 laps to go. After this, it will be 3 laps to go. Then we will crown a winner of the Qatar Grand Prix. I keep saying Bahrain. Yeah, it's because we had Bahrain in there one, so that's the reason. See more people getting track limit, try to push it all. They have Davis on the rear wing, but the Inters are not quick enough. It's a little bit of wobble of Dave on the exit of the final corner. And that will probably hurt him, trying to hunt down CJ. In this turn 16, a little bit of wobble. The pixel spray we see on the straight for this beautiful game. In the background, we see other drivers. We see Carnaby fighting with Top G. Carnaby does not have any pace left in those wet weather tires. And the Inters that they have are just quicker. And the new Inters are quick. As Job is also behind him still. Carnaby falling back a lot of places, but he's one of the few who doesn't have a track limit penalty. Alfie is now down to P9. Jacob is up to P10, but he will probably lose a lot of places. And Leclerc is now into P14, not having his race after getting a glitch which ruined his race. I don't know what happened, but I think I 100% turned that setting off, so I don't know why it's on. So we'll see what will happen. We see Carnaby Job fighting in the background. We see Joppe and we see a little bit of a ghosting actually. They can't be hit somebody. As Joppe is sliding with them inters. As Alfie getting a 3-second time for cutting the corner down on the inside. We saw that Leclerc also getting a 3-second time penalty. Track limit paradise, as it will be said by Yuki Tsunoda. Right now, gonna be still holding up Joppe. And we go on to the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. We see IC having a 1.2 second lead compared to his closest rival, which is Ruben. He will maybe get a podium, but it looks like, we'll quickly look what it will be. And it maybe could get that podium after all. We'll see what he can do. He doesn't have any track limits, but if he does get a track limit, then it will stay as it is. And then IC would win, and that would be very good for some drivers. But for some, it will not be that good. If we could look at the penalties, Top has 18 seconds of time penalties. So he's not fighting for any track position at the moment. Jacob having 15, Alfie having 9. And the rest also having a lot of track limits, so that there will be a lot of position changing at the end of this race. Gonna be on the outside, Joppe on the inside, and he has to give that place up. And it's because those wet weather tires are just not good enough. The old wet weathers are nothing compared to the fresh inters. And Alfie and Joppe get through. Jacob is also knocking on the back of the Williams, and Jacob gets pushed off track by Carnaby and will lose all his progress, and now will be down to P14. As IC is now leading a lot, but CJ will maybe get a P2 after all, after the drives in front of him have 3 seconds, and Charles also getting another 3 second time, but it was 6 seconds for him. But right now it will be difficult as Marvin and Leclerc are fighting. We'll quickly watch with them. Are they getting past the Englishman? But IC is still leading the way and is dominating the wet after getting a drive to Mexico. Not paying attention that much, and the safety car maybe ruined his chance, but luckily for him the safety car did not bug at all for him. Luckily. But some other drivers did get bugged, but I think that it will be another result that we see, not this final result, but Jacob getting another, that's 18 seconds for him, and his race is so done. He will stay P14, will not gain any places with his time penalties. But it will be IC who will probably take the checkered flag after this lap. We see in the background, we see Dave hunting down Ruben for the win, for his P2, for the P3 maybe even, because he's still hunting down for track position. Right now around the inside he goes, and he has, oh, a little bit of contact. Ruben Dave losing his rear after making contact a little bit with Ruben. But now Dave has CJ behind him. But if CJ plays smart, just stays behind, doesn't try to do anything stupid, and stays behind him, then Lexi cannot also overtake as just CJ. I suggest him to stay behind Lexi going wide, drifting through the corner. But Marvin getting a physical type, CJ very aggressive with the turn and carrying way more speed through the corner. As Dave is looking to get maybe a P5 in this race, maybe even a P4 if he's lucky enough. But the man of the hour is not the Ferrari man who we thought could maybe win this race. It is the Red Bull pair who would win another race here. Red Bull have won more races than I can count on my fingers because I'm an idiot. But it looks like it will be the same Englishman who will take home the checkered flag after winning 1, 2, 3 times already in VGPR. It will be number 4 as Dave overtakes Ruben in sector 3, but right now it will be the Englishman number 28 on the car, and victory number 4 for the car, and IC will win the Qatar Grand Prix after an outstanding drive in the wet, as Dave will come across the line for P2, but it will be P2 for CJ, no, P2 for Lexi actually, because Lexi overtook CJ, as Dave will go to P4, Ruben to P5, Lewis to MC Carnaby. We see Jacob crashing down in the background, not giving a single fuck anymore after this race. But it is the IC who will stay, who will claim his 4th victory of the season, and will become, as we see Dave getting my vote of the driver of the day. But it looks like he could get this penalty removed, so don't expect this to be the final result. as Dave, yeah, we see that Dave can possibly get upon him, but yeah. But as it stands right now, it is this is your result. We'll quickly go to the race result. This are your race result. ICU winning the Grand Prix, Lexi getting P2, Caesar getting P3, but Dave can get a penalty remove and maybe get his P2 back. This is the rest of your results we have here. Jake was faster with a glitched time, so that's not fun with a 2-second. But that will be BS because I think somebody else got a fast lap. We'll see what will happen with that because these are all glitched laps times. So yeah. Right now, these are the results of the sprint race, and we will be back for you for next week for the championship decided in Brazil after this crazy round in Qatar. And the championship has now come down to a couple of points between the Red Bull pair, and whoever will finish ahead will take home victory. It will take home the championship in Brazil. We'll see you next week in Brazil for the championship final in VGPR Tier 2, and we'll see you also maybe next week for the penultimate round in Abu Dhabi. And we'll see what will happen. So see you all later, and we'll see you all next week. Dit was your commentator VGPR Sander for Tier 2. And we'll see you next week for Tier 1 and Tier 2. Good evening.